Welcome everybody. Just a quick reminder that anything you see on this channel is advice and done in a purely entertainment capacity only. I'm just a guy working on his stuff that breaks in his front yard. That's it. There are no warranties implied or given. This is just me working on junk, passing on what I've learned. End disclaimer. Good morning everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Jared and this is my channel Mazda B3K. This episode we're going to tackle, I think, finally what is the solution to the no start condition that I've been fighting with on my 1997 Ford E-150 van behind me for a while now. Without further ado, let's get started. So as I mentioned, I've been fighting a no start condition that only occasionally happens. And how it normally goes down is you come in, put your key in, go to crank, nothing happens. What it does is it acts like you've tripped the neutral safety switch, meaning the engine computer doesn't think that the car is in park or in neutral. So it won't let you start, won't let you crank. And what it actually is when it's doing that, if you take your shifter and you wiggle it up, that'll do it. It'll put it into park, and then you can crank, and it's just fine. So I didn't realize this till pretty late in the process. I've basically replaced everything in the starting system, me being me. And I even replaced what is the neutral safety switch on this vehicle. I do have videos for all of that. I can put them in the description below in case you're curious. None of that has fixed the problem. So I think I know what the problem is, and we're going to dive into it. And what it is there's a pair of Torx screws that hold the shifter in. And if they start to back out, number one, you'll see this start getting really sloppy. And number two, when you shift, it won't actually put it in the gear you think you're in. So what I'm talking about is not this indicator. That's a separate series of problems. That's a separate adjustment and everything. This is where this shifter is actually screwed into the rest of the steering column, is what this is. So we're going to try to take a look at that. It's a relatively easy adjustment on the F-Series trucks, but of course, this being a van, it's harder because it's a van, and everything's harder in an Econoline van. One thing to note, if it's not this issue, there is one more thing that we would have to look at, which is there are some bushings that, again, are connected to this system that are underneath this cover where you got to drop the column to get good access to it. And those bushings can crack and fail. And when they crack and fail, you get the exact same symptoms. And you don't know which one it is until you dig into it. But today, I only have time to go after the screws. If it's still doing strange things, I'll go after the bushings, and that'll be a separate video. All right, to get started, this beauty cover's got to come off. And it just pulls off. It's got 4 push pins that hold it in. You just pop it off. But if you have an older van like I do, because I think this is pretty universal for E-Series up into the 2010s even, be careful, because these, as you can see, they start getting wear on them, they start getting loose, and eventually they break, and once they break, they're a pain to put back on. All right, so we're gonna need to get down in the driver's well, and we're gonna need to get our head kind of up where the pedals are. And this thing's really hard to see. Okay, so that's not our screw right there. That is for the ignition switch. What we are looking for is also, it's not those screws, unfortunately. It is above that wheel and to the left, you're going to see a screw. And the way you can really track this down is by wiggling the shifter. All right, I want you guys to look above and to the left of that wheel. Now watch, I'm going to wiggle the shifter. You see that thing moving? There are 2 screws. That is one of them. And what happens is they will get loose. And when they get loose, you start having the no start condition. And like I said, on a F-Series vehicle, this isn't too hard to get to, but on an E-Series van, it's kind of a nightmare. So I'm thinking what we're gonna have to do is actually take this reinforcement bar off. And I think we can get it off, maybe. Because on this side, we got some bolts we can take off. But what I'm concerned about, hang on, I gotta spin myself around, is that on this side, I mean, we got a bolt there, got a bolt there, and then we've got little things like that nut. I'm afraid that there's going to be more junk that connects up back into the support brace that's even further back. So I'm not 100% on how we're going to get up to that particular bolt. So I'm going to have to just sit here and take some stuff apart, see what I can find out. Okay, so I've taken the first part of that brace out. It requires 6 8mm bolts. You can get at it, you know, 1/4 drive, all that jazz. Then I had to take off the OBD2 hookup. That's a pair of 7mm. And you'll notice I got extra wiring here. It's because I have a conversion van, and this is part of a, well, at the time, high-tech 10 CD changer that would then sit on an FM radio frequency, and you'd play your CDs that way. Not so great these days, but at the time, that was the big thing. So, all right, so give you a better idea of what we're trying to do. What we're trying to get to is back up here. But now we have a lot more visibility on it because we took that out of the way. I wonder what this is. It's bolted in, but I took a look at this big bracket. We're not unbolting that. That's just not going to happen. So we're going to have to figure out a different way to go about this. I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to cut the zip tie on this unit and get it out of the way so I can actually get all of this out of the way. And then I'm going to take a look again from the floor well and see if I got better access for what I'm going after. All right, guys, check it out. So you see we've got extension coming in from the back like that. Take a look. That comes up into that, and it is a T30. It's the size that we're going to be working with. All right, guys, check this out. Dang it, I just came out of it, but it is loose. There we go. Yeah, there it goes. It was loose. That's one. There's a second screw up here too. See if I can get on it. Oh, that one's extremely loose. Wow, you guys can't see anything, can you? There we go. See that? See how that's wobbling? I'm on the screw, but it's almost backed its way all the way out. So that was definitely the issue in my case, is that these screws are loose. Now, all that being said, you probably don't need to take this reinforcement off, but that allowed me to kind of see that I could run from the back here behind the main supports to get to it. But yeah, that is loose. That is my problem. For the here and the now, because I'm low on time, wife's getting ready to go on a road trip, I'm just going to tighten this up, and that should fix the issue. So I'm going to say my bushings are fine. It's just these screws are loose. Long term, I'll come back to this with some blue Loctite, some blue locking compound, and make it so this won't ever back out again. You don't want to do red, because only mad lads do red, because that requires heat. But yeah, that's the problem. All right, now we go to shift. I mean, it's hard to show this on camera because that still feels wobbly, or it looks wobbly. But when I move it, it feels much more firm. It doesn't, I don't feel as much slop when I move it. If I put it in gear, I can, oh yeah, that's a lot better. So another way you can kind of tell this is when you go to shift, instead of feeling a nice firm clunk in the column when you're shifting, it'll sometimes kind of like feel like it's kind of banging against stuff when it shifts, or the shift doesn't feel right. Like it'll shift, but it doesn't feel right. This feels a whole lot better. So that's definitely what the problem was. I have temporarily fixed it, as I mentioned. Long-term fix is get back under here, take them out one at a time, coat them in a thread locking compound of your choice. Loctite's just a common brand. Put it back in, take the other one out, do the same thing, put it back in, and then that's it. You don't have to worry about this anymore. Eventually, the bushings in here will fail, and you'll need to deal with that, and that's another story, another video. But in this case, we just had bad screws. So now, if you have an E-Series van, you know what you got to do in order to fix this. Alrighty folks, that's going to do it for this video, where we successfully fixed our no start condition / sloppy shifter condition in our 1997 Ford E-150 Econoline van named Enigma. If you found this video interesting, if you found it entertaining, if you learned something, please consider sharing, and subscribing. It does allow me to grow the channel and allows me to bring you more videos like this. And also, please leave a comment. I like to read from them, I like to learn from them, and I like to reply to them too. Lastly, guys, I make mistakes so you don't have to. I'll see you guys next episode.